have Bruno playing higher up, but again, they need him badly in that deeper role in midfield, and until they find somebody else, which they might even not do. So it'd be interesting to see that. And then even if they did sign another midfielder, then it's him, Cunha, and Mbeumo for the 3 number 10. Even Mount, to be fair, who I thought was decent against Arsenal.
Yeah.
4 for those 2 number 10 positions behind whoever the striker. I guess Cunha can be that guy, and you can play Bruno and Mbeumo behind him. You can have Šeško and Cunha and Bruno behind. There's a lot of things then that Ruben Amorim can do. At least he's got options now, and he can do different things with all the firepower he's got up front. But yeah, I love Bruno. I just think that deeper, you waste a little bit. Not waste is a bit too strong, but you prevent yourself from having all his qualities closer to the opposition box when he's going to be lethal there. But that's the way they are now. Until they find another midfielder, he has to play there alongside Casemiro.
Well, they did find one, but they couldn't do the deal because it was going to prove too expensive, and Brighton said no with regard to Carlos Baleba. Do you think United may have learnt lessons from previous transfer windows, that previously you could argue that someone like Carlos Baleba might have been a first choice, and once that didn't happen, they thought we're going to have to get someone, and they spent huge amounts of money trying to get another midfielder to fill that role, not necessarily their first choice.
Yeah.
Would it be advisable for United just to take a step back, and if there's still a possibility in future transfer windows, maybe not January, but next summer, to maybe pursue Carlos Baleba again, is it worth the wait, and have they got enough for this season to be able to wait for that?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think it's a great debate that they would have had internally too. Baleba is 120 million euros. Is that too much money? Maybe. But then he's, 1, outstanding. 2, he will be your midfielder for the next 10 years. When you have Casemiro at his age, Bruno at his age, Mainu, I mean, Amorim is not a fan. It's just as simple as that. And Ugarte, who has big limitations in his own game. I don't know. I guess the answer, which I know is a bit a simplistic answer, but let's see who they sign. If they sign somebody that is not Baleba, and then we will see if they were right or not to pass on Baleba and sign somebody else. If they don't sign anybody, I think they're short. I think they're too short. At least they don't play in Europe this season, which is an absolute blessing for them. But even for the Premier League, I'm not sure you can finish in the top 5, for example, with Casemiro, Ugarte, Mainu, and Bruno as your 4 options in those 2 deeper midfielders. I think that's not enough. That's not good enough.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they do go back into the market. As far as we're aware at this stage, with only a few days to go, it doesn't look likely, but of course that can change. Look, midfield was an area. We've got to talk about the goalkeeper, because Andre Onana, he wasn't dropped according to Ruben Amorim. It just said, look, he hasn't trained that long. He hasn't had much game time. So Altay Bayindir came in. Was a huge fault for the goal. That can't be escaped. Gary Neville has suggested they have to go out and sign a new goalkeeper. Do you agree? And there's a certain